Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Trine 2. I put down my controller and knocked the cord loose, so it says it was disconnected. Let me see if I can just plug it back in and make that work. Well, doesn't seem like it wants to work immediately. Let's see if we can click the OK button on the mouse and then see if the controller will now work. I think we're at the second to last level at Cloudy Isles. Definitely going into yet another very different direction. Yep.
Afraid of it? Who are?
Everyone are, Kingy. What if it spites us?
It's a trick. Get over it. And the machine?
It is ready. It'll breach the
I don't really love the subtitles being so small in the lower left corner. But I do like the idea that the king goblin here is
Let's worry about that after we've ended this
smaller style of character and not like a giant monster character that we would have fought in the main game. The Goblin King in that game was too similar to the other giant goblins. We basically fought the same three giant goblins, or the same giant goblin 3-4 times. So we apparently crashed the flying machine that we had before. So then we must do the standard video game, do we trust the player, the creators, to not hide something far off to the left side of the screen. And I guess in this case there isn't anything. So now we're on a flying island, but as soon as you even walk into this first section, it really is just the same old, same old. We've got the vines potentially looking like they might hurt us, although I kind of want to see what it's going to do. It's not going to really do anything, so well, I could pretty much just jump on them if I wanted to. Yeah. So I wonder if maybe we are supposed to work our way around things. That could be the case, where there could definitely be a tall tower-like device, tower-like building in these rocks on the inside here. I really don't like how the rocks kind of stop here and yet it moves to the foreground here, and there was hidden XP. And then I guess I'm assuming that there's going to be a couple of XP orbs in the water, and there's more hidden down that way, which finally I've realized what I need to do to break things underwater is you have to throw the hammer. You can't shoot the arrow. And potentially the explosive hammer ability is unlocked, so I'd assume that this is probably helping a little bit. It does seem to me like there's probably something up there. So let's get that low gravity going. Although, in all fairness, the low gravity stuff can be fairly annoying in itself. Hmm. Hmm. So there's just like no way through here. And we've seen one other section like this, where it didn't quite make sense as far as what you're supposed to do. Maybe in this case I'm supposed to do something like this to like break that. Or maybe I'm supposed to do something like this. I guess if I hold the left stick with my right hand, I can charge the arrow, then jump, and that way I can actively do both of what I'm supposed to do here. What it seems like I'm supposed to do. Oh, I think I screwed that up terribly though. I think the wind was supposed to blow it, and my time distortion has now made it impossible to ever get that. Meanwhile, you have this other problem in that I can hold this all I want, but that is going to be close to impossible to reach that next section. So I guess we're working on the premise that there's just a bunch of flying machines that we're going to platform on, and so they're just recreating the idea of the flying machines or the platforms to use flying machines. Yeah, nothing would get that for me. I guess I can build platforms here to get more height. Although, starting with a medium-sized one is going to be weird. Just ride this guy all the way up here to that spot. And then the wall kind of wants to stop you from getting any further. And then you're pretty much done with that previous area, and then you're doing this area next. There's a potential annoyance here. I can feel that I am going to potentially need to hover with this guy across this direction. Then I'm going to have to go back and do it basically a second time. Although it may not be too big of a problem considering the slight variances in heights that I failed to just overcome. I also have slight concern that there might be something collectible here. Some of these great machine elements feel like they are somewhat prevalent in the trailers I've seen for Trine 5, which maybe implies that as the game mechanics evolve, the ideas around the mechanics and the technology in the world are potentially evolving too. Right. Start with that. And then up we go and hover, and that should get us to the rest of this. And it's like we're now
What on earth is that?
fighting a mage goblin. I have no idea what happened there. I didn't realize the lightning was also going to play a role. Okay. I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing there. And he does seem like he is a boss, and I can't just capture him. But there's no elements otherwise to deal with here. Shooting with regular arrows doesn't seem like it's doing anything. Maybe it just is a massive amount of hits that you have to do to retract all of these black tendrils. This introduces a puzzle with what doesn't feel like a real solution. Yeah. If that was supposed to be the solution to that, that is just really, really bad. Like, nobody wants to sit there and have to flick the same attack multiple times. Now
What
we
was
have
this? A lightning cloud? The heroes would need to be cautious, unless they wish to be fried.
looks like the water gets electrocuted, so swimming in the water at the moment doesn't seem safe. But if I was to do that, does that cause any protection? No. This all has a little bit of an Asian influence to it, too. Although it does seem like it is just goblins still that are running the place. Maybe they stole the place from some other people. Okay. Then we have this like water wheel here. I guess that protects us, and I guess that will keep it there, so down we go. Shortcut opened. More XP. We'll switch to another character. Did we get everything? did we miss anything in previous sections? Was I supposed to do something with this? Didn't seem like it. We have 1 skill point, so basically nothing we can do right now. I guess maybe the general idea was to perhaps swing up before it got too low. That's weird because I didn't really have any trouble whatsoever getting up on that platform the first time, and now I definitely am having trouble getting on the platform. I think that probably highlights just a fairly large amount of inconsistency having a physics system be the basis of how puzzles work ends up creating that weird situation. Okay. Oops, 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 oops. So this only lasts so long. Meanwhile, if I'm going to pull this off, why is this floating in the air like that? Yeah, I have no idea why it's interacting with this rock when when I don't interact with the rock. You would think everything in the foreground would be interactable with each of the elements, not some elements and then some others. I do like the idea of introducing Wyvern, but they certainly didn't reduce the number of goblins to really balance out that idea of fighting flying creatures of some sort. Okay. You can see a platform, but instead of trying to shoot it with an arrow, just do that instead. That makes a lot more sense. So we can make a step up here, a step up here. And a step here. Step here. You've got some monkey, clear crystal monkeys and a big looking dragon with your refresh of your health orb in the hand of the dragon, which is pretty to say the least, but also I don't think really works on making it obvious enough that that's where the reset is. I really thought I just hadn't found the reset. Okay. And float. all the way here to get to this point, and then float all the way here to get to those points. Did I potentially miss something? Yes, I did. We've got this whole crab section. Okay. So the dragon drops a box like clockwork. That then brings the box over here, which maybe there's some trick here where we were supposed to get back up to that height that way, so that may have been a different solution. Overall though, this is ringing the bells perhaps supposed to do something? That time I just was able to kill him. I feel like there's a real puzzle here.
Bells.
How
3.
nice. A little music.
Am I supposed to just hold it, I guess? 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2. Okay. 3, 1, 4, 2. And so now we have movable platforms that just teleport.
Bells.
How nice. A little music.
So, kind of an interesting concept, certainly, but I don't know if that's something that really should be introduced on what I suspect is the second to last of these DLC levels. Alright. Seems to me like we're gonna have to do that, and that's not gonna work. Okay. The way these dance about. I'm not sure if this is somewhat randomized in the movement patterns or what. Seems like you have to probably swap here to hit this, then swap here, hit that. Seems like you may struggle to really hit the get past that point. Let's just get this energy orb, even though we know we're missing probably a few in every level. We might as well, though, give it our best try to collect as much as possible. this is not particularly the type of sequence that would drive me crazy to find collectibles, because I know I can actually accomplish my goal. It's just a matter of sacrificing perhaps a lot of health in the process. I keep expecting the dragon is going to come back though. And he did. Once you get to a certain spot on a certain platform, they fly here and it triggers. It's an interesting sequence because of just how much is here, and I fear the precedent this might be setting, because honestly if they give me 2 or 3 more sections that were like this, I'd find that fairly annoying. So I'm hoping that this is a unique sequence. And it definitely feels like these things can just be knocked out of order. Are we at a point now where we could buy anything? I guess we're probably just saving up for 2 more levels to unlock this again. I'm noticing the music here, by the way, is different. Although, if you go in here, all the ambient noise and background music makes the music much more recognizable. Okay. Again, I think we'll have to use this to launch ourselves up higher. Just the old box throw through the gravity well. Start that way. Go with this guy. Yeah. The problem here, I would say, is that this feels like this. It feels like it goes there. That's what we need to do. We need to do something like that, then switch, then do that, and then shoot the gravity well up higher. And I don't think it really wants to do that. But yeah, it feels like if you throw this in fast, you have more speed when it leaves the gravity. Whereas if you throw it in slow, you don't have that much speed. I really don't want to die here, is there? anything I could do to prevent that from happening. Ah, no. Alright, well, jump. I don't think we actually need the low gravity in this case. I think we just stand on this. And so then the last bit of this is just going to be getting through that lightning and then just hoping that there isn't more XP hidden behind foreground objects. Alright. And then the game is just going to really slow down stuff for you. Because I have to build this whole point just to get back up there, just for an artistic reason. There are no grapple spots here or anything like that, so... yeah. And we're fighting one more of these rock guys. Which I don't know if they just made an assumption there that you would have always had a tower that he was swung his arm, or whether the guy is actually programmed well enough to have recognized that there was something there to swing his arm, or if it was a case where he just swung his arm as part of his intro animation. It's kind of hard to believe that he would be programmed that well. And it's interesting how that knocks the orb down to a lower spot as, I guess, a checkpoint. That helps us. Is there a thing you can get on top there? Not really. Let's just swing down this way and see if maybe there's some secret thing. I didn't think there would be, but whatever. Okay. Jump back here, jump back here, jump this direction. We've got a checkpoint. And then our shields aren't lightning proof. So we wanted to wait until the lightning was actively hitting. Whoops. Shoot that guy first. And then we'll figure out what the rest of this puzzle is. I can't help but get a little bit of a feeling that the desire here, by having all this floating stuff, whereas previously everything was in a cave, to justify different elements not having a ceiling and having a bottom part. Now it seems like they've just introduced the idea that anything and everything can just be floating. So they can make even easier development on levels. Alright. Okay. I think I may be making some medium-sized portals here. There we go. Get up to that point, collect that one. Can I make that jump? No. Can I switch the switch off? No. Okay. I think it probably would be a little bit smarter if the third cube you make always was smaller than the first cube you made, and so on and so on. Come on, I just don't want to bounce up. That's all I'm trying to accomplish here. Yeah, but if there was just a slight difference there, where it was always giving you a small ledge, like this would stop the water from getting electrocuted if I could get this to stay. I have no idea how to get that to stay though. These sections here this can't really move around. If I was to make a cube here, as soon as it gets in the water, it stops being the target. And honestly, even if I could make like a tower of cubes, I think it would just still electrify the water. You can't draw the electricity seemingly anywhere else. Yeah, I don't get it. Color me confused. Again, I'll just kind of toss this up and see if we can convince it to be the platform we're looking for. I guess maybe the low gravity field here might be interesting. I don't know if that really helps that much though. Honestly, I have more of a desire, I think, just to move to the right and just give up on it. I'm losing interest in these extra challenges. Yeah. Unless this bounced, and bounced really well. Well, wait a minute. That's something. We can swing the platform itself this way, and then that gets me way closer. Yeah, that gets me way closer. So I'm just perhaps missing. Yep. I don't know if there's enough here, though. Not yet. Just look how high that's getting now. Right. Which also potentially means I could just come over here. Wow. So we have a wyvern drawing. Does that help me solve the next part of the puzzle, I guess, is the question to ask next. Like, I can drag this way. Grab this. Weirdly, it's not letting me hold on to it as easily as it was before. Why does it sometimes just like things work once and then they stop working the next time? Is it because I had a bunch of weight on this guy? There's just nothing over there. That's just introducing a wyvern to attack again. We're here. This lets me go up here to collect that. That leaves us at 3 levels now. Potentially. That lets me get that. If I could throw something down that way, that might be interesting. We have this ice cube. Nope, that's just a metal thing. That's just a conjured item. And this is stuck here, and that is stuck there. If I was to make the longest platform I could possibly make here, you would think that it would just be something as simple as this. That diverting this electricity this way would stop something from happening. I almost wonder if this engine here is supposed to be powering this to swing back and forth. The problem here is as soon as you get into the water, you lose your protection. If you were going to try and have something hover, I don't get it. Okay. Let's hit our health recheck. I'm spending a lot of extra time on this. Okay. Destroy that. Stand on this. This should keep us protected. This, in what way could get wedged into that section, or any section? I just don't feel like there's a twist or an angle You know what it is. Let's just hit reset all here. And then magnetize. And then we'll reapply as many upgrades as we can. Okay, so that just means this and this, which I never really would use, are the last two things. We really only need 4 levels. Alright, so here's my thought. Don't fall in the water and die, first of all. We do this. And then we hit the B button to magnetize it. And then that looks like that's metal, so that should be magnetized. That's it. So that is literally the only way to collect all this stuff, is that you have to have the magnetize ability and make very good use of it. And then, really, in all honesty, to get this, you're going to have the low gravity ability and a decent capability of hitting one of these sliding walls, which you're not going to really have a good chance at. But yeah, you need to basically hit the wall on the low gravity to then bounce. Like you can see, I'm getting just slightly away from it. Maybe there is a slightly different way to solve that part. make sure we don't end up getting electrocuted by putting a metal thing too close, I would say. Okay. Let's see if that'll work. I'm just like bouncing upward, and I really need it to actually bounce downward. This could just take forever. I don't think it's magnetized, I just think it's going to hit a wall, then it's going to lose a bunch of momentum, and then it's just going to ever so slowly start to inch its way downward. There's no like grapple point or swing here. I could destroy this, or I could just wait. But I'm gonna probably wanna just move it. Probably need to move it a lot lower. It does seem like as it gets to the edge of these low gravity fields, the bubbles tend to have less of an effect on it. That was a lot of extra work. Here. You'd think powering this generator would do something more than just powering the switch. Although, if it is just going to power a switch, it's not the worst idea had this been introduced earlier throughout gameplay. I don't like the little pink lights. It looks like you would be collecting something like a health orb or something. Meanwhile, we've been listening to this sound effect this whole time, I guess. Wait for the Wyvern to return. I don't get what I'm really supposed to be doing here. I was thinking maybe the magic guy could make a cube and get the lightning from the bottom of the platform to the top. I feel like that's not helping anything. Yeah, it definitely feels like it's what it's trying to do there is create a scenario where you are always kind of thinking about an opening. Okay, that powers that much for that long. This connects to that. for that long. This can act like that. Lower that, which I believe that is probably the first step here. I do have to say though, this whole section here does befuddle me quite a bit. That just looks like really, really high spaces with no platforms whatsoever. So, on that note, I feel like the best move is probably to assume that something more is supposed to happen here. Let's see. Really question though how much. Wow, that worked way better than I thought it was going to. That feels like that is just the end of the level.
This will get us places.
So we missed a whole bunch of collectibles and XP right at the end of this level. I have no idea how you would have reached any of that though. Feels like it would have been a struggle and very janky, to say the least. Probably dragging the platform around and using the low gravity field and using the knight's gliding ability. Suppose I could have possibly built some platforms. And weirdly, this cutscene is still going on, right? That's a fairly long cutscene compared to the others. I almost wonder if we can test something
an
here.
unexpected attack had blasted our heroes from the high skies. They clung to the air machine as it spiraled down towards the ground, where the wicked goblins were waiting for them to crash.
Let's go ahead and hit start here. And this may be like a final boss fight anyways.
Go away, or I'll crush the woman. You won't get the chance.
Margaret isn't even here.
But we are, and we're bringing down you and your infernal machine.
Ah, it was built to bring down cities, but we can start with you three.
So this does just feel like a boss fight. So what I wanted to see is if I chose to restart the latest save here, then that would take us just to where we are now, which it's telling us, by the way, that there's 0 level experience, 0 monster experience, and 0 unlocked secrets in that section. So we actually know it is a boss fight, and we could probably be further conform that with this part. See, the final chapter also had 0 experience and 0 rewards. But it does seem like there's something else that's still locked as something to do. So, should we do the final boss fight right now, or should we just leave it? When we look at the other level that we were just in, we missed about 50 XP, which would have been 1 level there. I think this is probably a bonus level. And then to get the remaining 100 XP that we would need, we would have to maybe go back to this, and that would give us a little bit less than 40. This would give us a little bit 13 more. That's 20. That's 5. There's only 2 in this, none in that, 18 in that, 5 in that. Yeah, it would be a much better situation if I was simply missing a bunch of XP in one level versus missing 1 XP in multiple levels. So yeah, it totally feels like to me, we're at 175 XP right now. There's 1995 total level XP, plus there's still some monster XP to be collected. But I think that is more XP than you actually need by a little bit. Maybe 100 XP at most, 100, 200, maybe at most to unlock everything. Alright, well, like the boss fire,
Every good project needs testers before completion.
so I see like glowing parts. So it seems to me like it's a decent chance of failure. Getting to this part, we'll just have spikes attack you. And they can destroy the platforms, but then the platforms come back. I really don't feel like the game has set me up well to figure out like what I'm supposed to do. I guess that's the general idea, is that each of these 3 attacks need 2 hits, and so they are going to potentially lower an arm, and we need to figure a way to get on top of the arm so we can do something like that. This does feel slightly better in its design compared to the dragon with its earrings.
Fixed in the next version.
I feel like that is a direct statement on the way these games are made. Is to just say, oh well, the physics system will be fixed in the next version. Come on, let me through here. Well. Two more attacks to take out. One more attack to take out. This does feel more puzzly and less just fighting focused. Come on. Attack so I can hit that. There you go.
It's not over yet.
And so now we have a whole new phase where I assume the trick here is to probably get high get up to the higher sections and then attack from above. Of course, that does potentially require actually not dying. I'd assume they checkpointed me. One would assume that's the case. The destroying of these platforms kind of don't matter too much. Alright, let's try a different idea.
Suddenly, an unexpected...
Oh, so they really are just going to make me restart the whole level. Well, that sucks.
You think you can hide?
So the move here is definitely not to get under the place. You want that attack to actually go through. Or, if you can, just pull it off. Get up there quicker.
In the next version.
What is her little stealth thing too?
Before completion.
Like, we have the scarecrow ability, so could we put a scarecrow here and then stealth away and get them to focus on that and attack that? Or is that just in the way? Feels like it's probably just in the way. There we go. Let's swing over here. And then let's see. Swinging my swords around. Like crazy, and then getting destroyed like crazy.
Please continue. There is so much more to hear. Suddenly, an unexpected attack had...
I don't know what to do here. It does just seem like we really have gotten a fairly large difficulty spike, and the idea of potentially like recovering your like you could get really fast at this whole section, really, but then the idea of recovering your health, I think, falls apart. in that second swing. Yep.
That will be fixed in the next version. Every good project needs testers before completion.
Like, it seems like once you get up to that point, like once you get to this point, you basically are, well, I'm not even at the point I'm talking about. Once you get to that second phase, which we're not quite to yet, best case scenario, you hover.
You think you can hide?
Like, I literally can't fight anybody this way. And you really can't get, you can't save yourself from that. Alright, well, here's what I think we'll do. Let me take a moment here to just take a little bit of a break and see if maybe we can maybe change current game settings.
Suddenly, an unexpected attack had blasted our heroes from the high skies.
Difficulty. Easy. Player elevation. Self. Okay. Why did it save at that spot? I really would like to know the answer to that one. It definitely just feels like we are doing 2 or 3 times as much damage as we would have previously. So I definitely feel like it's a pretty obvious recommendation now to play this game on easy. There's just no desire to play it on medium because you have to swing way too much, and I imagine it's twice as hard playing it on hard mode. I was about to quit, frankly. I was just about to look up a walkthrough to see if there was potentially a solution there. Here we have another nice cutscene. I thought maybe there would have been a walkthrough.
Wheezy's goblin minions had been fearful of approaching Margaret. Whatever could be the reason?
I can't believe my eyes. Margaret, are you in there?
Is this the point where they reveal she is the goblin goddess? Or priestess?
She has a striking resemblance to those goblin art pieces we saw along the way.
Has she become a goblin saint now? Saint angry?
Look up. The light isn't coming from the heavens.
Trine, you've been here all along, keeping Margaret safe.
Are they
I'll never speak
literally
badly of you again.
not going to show Margaret?
Amadeus and Margaret were at last reunited.
I guess that's exactly what they're going to do.
The terrible goblin army defeated. All there was left to do was to find some well-earned rest.
Let's go home.
My tummy is so rumbly, I couldn't hear the sound of battle.
It would be
over it.
interesting if the
And
Trine
I
can
want to
only
be
teleport
long
the
gone
3
before
main
another adventure
characters.
finds us.
I'm afraid of opening the bag.
Open it!
Such was the adventure with goblins and confusion. But now it ends with this conclusion. With no more trouble, danger, or fright, at last I can bid us all a good night.
So we get an achievement called Happy Reunion, Complete Story, and we finally have gotten credits, which they didn't show credits at the end of the main story. It's weird how these goblins are drawn in a completely different manner, but I think this really highlights something that I've said in the past, which is if that was the art style of this game, if it was just a colorful but 2D flat depiction of characters, and instead of the high polished 3D with way too much going on in the foreground and background, I'd still be very happy. Particularly because I'm making the assumption there that the puzzling and the platforming would be a lot more tested and polished, whereas it feels like this game series is way too happy to just throw something out and let you figure out what the solution is. I am very disappointed in the fact that it went from finger blistering difficult on medium to way too easy on easy to beat that final boss. The final boss was better than the dragon slightly, because I guess it had more of a second phase to it, but neither one are particularly amazing boss fights, and if anything, this game does not shine when there is a boss fight. Clearly, a lot of my frustration around smashing the X button and having to do 3-4 swipes of the fire sword to kill your average goblin would have been removed, or at least severely reduced, if I had just been playing on easy. So there is almost certainly a need for them to say, hey, on easy you do twice as much damage, that's the only real difference. I doubt the platforming is any different. I doubt you get a couple more feet of height when you jump on easy, although that might be nice, certainly, and we kind of need to go test that out. But yeah, the complete story DLC, a better story, a better adventure, I would say. Rosabelle and Isabelle as characters are forgettable to the point where I'm barely remembering their names. They just weren't given enough characterization and narration. There's just no writing in the main story at all. It is such a simplistic tale. Thanks to coffee and tea energy drinks, apparently. And this is using NVIDIA physics from 2013, which, yeah. Trine 2 in a lot of ways is building on NVIDIA selling video cards based on physics, and the idea that physics would have revolutionized the way games were made and the way games played. And then a small level, it kind of did, but nowhere as much as NVIDIA sells itself. 2023, I mean, really it was probably closer to 2021. NVIDIA came out with ray tracing. Same argument. Ray tracing lighting will revolutionize the way games play and just be a whole great reason why you need to buy new video cards. And certainly there were other technologies that NVIDIA only really sells new series of their video cards based on technologies. Hairworks, Fabricworks, better physics, and better support for the next DirectX. In that case, Microsoft is the one pushing for new generations of DirectX when maybe you really don't need it. And in all fairness, the difference between DirectX 8 and DirectX 9 is almost certainly way bigger than the difference between a DirectX 9 and a DirectX 10 as far as middle software support. We may be up to DirectX 11 if you have Windows 11. I wouldn't even be surprised if we're up to DirectX 12, but it has been considerably slower as far as new versions of DirectX being released, and compared to NVIDIA, new versions of DirectX don't really try to make much of a promise difference, or promises of big differences. A game like this, made in 2023, well, Trine 5 is about to come out, so if you want to go see if there's been any major improvements or if it stands up to 10 years later, I bet you would find it doesn't. Do we have a different screen at the start here? Nope, it's the same old screen. As far as achievements go, I have 37 out of 97. I can pretty much tell you that you would get an achievement for getting the 3 XP that I missed in this level, and the 1 XP I missed in this level, and that there would just be an achievement for each one of those things. For each of the secrets I missed, there's a secret here, there's a secret here, and there's a secret here that I missed, and each of those secrets probably are in somewhat different areas. Weirdly, we do have this locked section, which only makes me assume that that is only unlockable when you get all of the collectibles done. So
the Trine.
Let's hop in here and just point something out here. As far as I can tell, we are not given any
Let the adventure begin!
new
Where are we?
item,
Where did the
nothing
Trine
that
bring
would
us?
Let's
point
take a look
us
around to find out.
in a specific direction as to where a collectible may be hiding. Okay. I just found either 1, 2, or 3 XP. We needed to find 3 in this level, didn't we? Now that we have all kinds of abilities, floating and getting across to one side to the other is going to be super easy. That being said, there's again just nothing pointing out to where that last collectible would be. Best case scenarios, we're just trying to speed run to see what would happen.
This water is really powerful. I ought to see if it works on potatoes as well.
It would be incredibly easy to miss something though. You don't have a fly around ability or anything like that. All you have is the gliding on the shield.
Intruders! Do you think we'll have to fight them? Get your pocky stick. We cook the big fat one. Attack!
So, in a fight like this, 1, 2, 3. Still really being it. Let's see. I suppose probably
Is this
could
what we're here for? Slaying
do
goblins?
this.
A simple, straightforward quest. I like it.
I don't.
It says you can levitate yourself, but it's not really happening. So I was hoping that I could cheat a lot more. And pick yourself up and move blocks more. These puzzles obviously are fairly simplistic solutions compared to later puzzles. You never really slide puzzles. Like, you never really engage with sliding a box or pushing a box. We already got all the ones there. The shield stopped being an important item a long time ago. Still missing 2 XP. But yeah, with the number of achievements that we're missing here, I don't see a real argument to trying to unlock that last level. I assume it's probably an open playground level of some sort. And maybe it is just nothing. It very possibly is nothing at all. And as much as you may want to speedrun all of this, the game's not going to make it easy. You still have to jump, still have to fight the enemies. There we have. I'm trying really hard to get back to my fire sword and struggling to hit the right buttons. It is kind of a catch-22 to complain about this game really not having a good button layout, and also complain about it not really using all the buttons in an effective way. But I really would probably make that argument, is that okay. Okay. So that's another thing missed. Seriously. Did I miss something up here? Obviously, this is a hint. I could see on the first levels, you just not having enough platforms to get up where you want to go. But once you get to about halfway through the game, there's no longer going to be a justification for that. Yeah. You should be able to have gone anywhere and collected anything that needed to be collected. So while it may be somewhat easy to get all the experience in this level trying to speedrun it, you're gonna lose that as an excuse pretty quickly. And honestly, I think there's a decent chance that I'm just going to end up missing one more XP. Unless it was just like hidden. And there was really nothing around the poems.
My sister?
I guess that would be what we should do. Is I should check. Wow. Is that literally just an XP I missed? No. That's not what that is. It's just a watering spot.
That's a funny looking rock. Why, it's a huge snail enjoying a shower.
We stopped using these logs pretty quickly. As a major complaint, I would say with this game too, is that
There she goes.
there's
She has a healthy appetite, that one.
too many reskins of the same idea over and over again as far as logs, different types of lava versus fire. So yeah, let's ask this question. Play the final boss fight, then the DLC, and the new level starts. You have to collect all the poems and pictures from chests. You should collect all the chests from the levels of Goblin Menace. If you have, then you need to go to one of them again to get the last map piece, so you'll be able to find a secret level. So I need to...
What's that?
Whatever it was, I'm glad it went the other way.
I need to basically find some chests or all the chests that I've missed, which would be only really 2 chests in general to worry about, so... So we want we want a low gravity effect. Possibly here. Yeah. Almost seems like what you need to do is something like this, then do this to do that. Which that's a concept certainly I have not really dealt with much. I'm just flying up here to see if maybe there's an XP. And there is. It is way up there. And immediately we get the achievement. So then the question I guess would become just how much can you speedrun through the rest of this level if we've collected everything.
Is that the wind blowing?
No, it's the air coming from those pipes.
So we didn't need that. We needed this vine, which we really stopped fighting vines. Yeah, I really don't like the way the controls. Playing on easy here, though, you can definitely feel like the platforming really didn't get any easier.
Look at the size of that thing.
It's monstrous.
Just get this snake to attack you, then get the snake to attack you again, and then get your snake to attack you a third time. And he actually hit me and killed one of my characters, but it doesn't matter.
Gargantuan snakes and giant snails.
I probably could have just saved and exited.
Huge grilled pork, I hope.
Who are these strange
Can we skip any of this?
people?
No.
I better keep my eye on them.
The Trine.
Okay,
I wonder what
let's go here. So that was everything there. And so to unlock this final level, I probably need to find this here and this one here. I probably don't need to go back and find the one unlocked secrets here or there. Okay,
After
belly of the
goblin
beast.
to the-
How fast can we
Luckily, the
speed run?
giant worm did not chew before swallowing.
Trine! I demand you come to us this instant and take us away. They wouldn't have taken Margaret if it weren't for you.
Oh, we'll find a way out, don't worry. We've seen worse than this.
Yes, although we've never seen the insides of worse than this.
I don't really see a value in doing the ice shot here. Like that double arrow shot versus the explosive shot. I'd say give me the explosive shot any day of the week.
Worm! Can you hear me? I've little fireball throwing children, just like you have your slime slinging baby wormlings.
But Amadeus's voice could not carry very far. And even if it could, it was unlikely that the worm cared much for anything its lunch had to say.
The danger here certainly is that you would just miss the whole section. It could be anywhere in the darkness. It could be up this little area, or it could be much further in a higher section. It could be in a whole section that I just did not even see. This is about the worst section, I think, to not find something in. Alright, I'm gonna assume that that means it's not here.
Disgusting tentacle things.
Remember, this was the point where the game also glitched. Be nice if you could kind of play it on peaceful mode. Would have been a little bit nice also if the game itself was better at explaining some of these characters. Forward we go.
Did you notice that we're moving? It's like this worm is headed somewhere.
So there could have been a whole section up there. I kind of need to go back and check that. But there's no easy way to go back to that. It is also fairly believable that maybe there is something I missed down here. Doesn't look like there's anything there. I'm hoping that there's nothing there. It's possible there would be something else around. Yeah, there's really just no telling where a collectible or an extra section could be. It's just so many different places. Might as well just run back and refill our health. I'd basically need a walkthrough. It would save me a lot of time. See if I did that and then did that. Okay, maybe did that. And see if we can get to the next side. Alright. Try that again. Supposed to just bounce that and then throw that and then get to the next section. I can see an XP orb I missed. Probably was trying to rush through this whole section because I was running low on health, if I was to guess. Alright, there's something here. Alright. A large chunk of XP collected. And this. We just got an achievement
Hark ye a dark
with this.
foretelling, the doom of this oasis dwelling. First rebellion fires powers, then a giant worm devours. Tree and goblin in the land, till nothing here is left but sand.
This is another example, certainly, of me making the wrong mistake by going further when we could have just been made another episode. Okay. So, Belly of the Beast. There are like 3 XP things left to collect in this level. Or I could just save and leave. So let's see if we can find
I spoke so unkindly of Margaret.
the
Just
remaining
mere
3
moments before
XP.
they took her. I'm a horrible person.
She wasn't exactly radiating love and comfort earlier.
She's very brave, my little darling. Putting up that prickly, steely exterior in the face of danger.
Sure, like a regular Iron Maiden.
Just slow down time and that works for you. See, there's just no telling if there was supposed to be some XP up there that I missed, or what. Just look all around and see if anything is striking me as unusual. Make sure that there's maybe not some kind of trick or something. Okay. Is it possible that there is possibly some XP? Because it seems like there might be. over there. Come on. Give me that platform I'm looking for. Nope, I guess there isn't any experience there. So we'll just move forward. Again, just a very, very dark section. So yeah, how in the world would you even be able to see the XP if it was around here? I really don't want to fight these guys if I don't have to. They were offering nothing to you the second time around, so it would make a lot of sense. And it would be an interesting twist, certainly, on a video game, if once a character has been depleted of its XP that it would offer you, it would just not ever spawn again in the game. And then you would effectively make your own personal peaceful mode by affecting peace by killing all of the other enemies in the game first, which that certainly is one way to get peace. Okay. We do see our missing XP. That was moving too fast. Just want to leave it at that. Come on. Everything swaying back and forth certainly is not helping anything. This is just not really the way a level should go. So that's 2 pieces of XP. Do I believe that there's a third piece of XP somewhere around here? I'd say probably not. Which probably means there is
Heroes
one more
arrived at a pool of
piece of
gastric
XP
acids.
somewhere in this level that I've missed. Hello. So the move here was to hold this down long enough to make a bubble, then hop on the bubble, then ride the bubble up. This was a very strange boss fight in that there really is nothing here. Alright, wait. Let me check something here, because I see a treasure chest over on the left, and yet I've already gotten all the secrets, so that treasure chest on the left must be like unnecessary extra, something we already have gotten. But there's nothing really stopping me from potentially missing an XP right next to that. We're going to fling that in the air. That's going to take too long. Yeah, I'm fairly certain I did just get flung up in the air by putting this here, standing on this, forming one here, and then jumping. You found a collectible painting and a piece of the secret level map again. Okay. So it's telling me that there's a secret level map. So it probably has been saying that the whole time, and I've just not been paying attention at all. I would bet that's exactly the case. It doesn't strike me as there being a likely chance of XP being here. Alright. See, and you shoot that like that, and then you shoot that like that, and it explodes. But obviously that's not the move. The move is to hit that and then just jump yourself and then shoot. And that's exactly how I solved this the last time.
Oh no, free of the clutches of the giant.
So that does confirm my question. The only real problem would be if this one secret here also was included in the secret level map, which I doubt it is. Okay. So then that only leaves me with potentially speedrunning Cloudy Isles again.
While the heroes were flying
to find the other secret.
I told you I should have taken the wheel. How are we supposed to get back down now?
Let's worry about that after we've ended this Goblin Menace.
Best foot forward.
Yeah. Again, seriously doubt that there's anything here. If there was something here, we would have probably seen it. Is it possible that there was something we missed under the water? It's hard to see, but I don't think so. With just water, I suppose I could seriously, Twice. I've missed that. Is there maybe another trick I'm supposed to be doing? Because I could see trying something like this. It's wonky, to say the least, but maybe there's a solution to be had here with just a plank. I really don't care if I get the XP, so the better question would be to ask. Yeah. Looks like I squashed it. That's a lot of manipulation, potentially, you have to do. And yeah, my only other thought is that you were supposed to do that, then you were supposed to shoot it, but I would definitely question if I had done that, it would have just broken that anyways. Alright. Anyways, we're supposed to be speed running here. And so we're looking for a treasure chest, and we kind of know where the other treasure chest is. So it's almost certainly somewhat early in the game.
Fire, goblin, devilish.
Just for my own sanity's sake, I think I'll just go ahead and kill that guy. The others make noise, but
What was this?
this guy
Lightning cloud.
makes a lot of noise.
Need to be cautious, unless they wish to be fried.
Did we look everywhere there was to look in the water section? Sure. Let's see. This is too dangerous, I guess, to ignore. We convince the wyverns to all go away. don't think I can actually make it through this spot though. You jump up here, you hover here, maybe. Hey, the good news is I found the treasure chest though. Well, sometimes what seems like misfortune turns out to be good fortune. I guess the real question would just come down to, do I think I can actually reach that area without dying? Nope. Oh well. It'll just be a small trip to get back to where we were. Now, here's once again going to be the problem though, is that I'm going to find that the secret level is a full secret level. Found the collectible piece in the secret level, unlocked the secret level. So 2 achievements for that. Meanwhile, I would need 100 XP more and 97 more XP to be exact. Nope, actually it's not 97. It's 147 XP left. Let's go ahead and slowly fall down here, and that's exactly what I didn't want to have happen. So I didn't want to realize that I'm going to end up needing to jump to collect the last couple of things. And I assume the bell there maybe makes a platform. I suspect with the way these levels have been going, a secret level being unlocked either is going to be designed to be very fun, or it's going to be designed to be incredibly difficult. Yeah, I guess I wanted to test my theory here before we saved and exited. Yep. Yep, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. Alright, well, it is definitely not necessary now to go any further with Cloudy Isles, even though there is 2 monster experience we didn't collect and kind of a large amount of XP we didn't collect. Let's see what Dwarven Caves looks like. 75 experience, 25 monster experience. It looks to me like it is a real level.
According to this map, the Dwarven Caverns are this way.
What? You expect me to go down into some damp old cave? Why?
For adventure.
Ha! Zoya's playing tricks on us. There must be treasure down there.
And the ancient secret to Dwarven Ale.
So it's just a basic picture of a map instead of the way the other levels had begun.
Is this quite safe?
But they...
It said maximum 3 people.
One of us weighs that.
It's my plate armor that's heavy.
You get a nice animation. That line of dialogue was not explained particularly well. That was not written very well. Like, one of the characters would have had to have thrown out the idea of it being safe, and then the other characters would have had to have argued against the idea of it being
the
safe.
Academy unearthed the Trine and the other artifacts in Dwarven ruins.
The dwarves were up to all sorts of curious things.
Oh, so
They
we're getting
also
some
refined
potential
gold and platinum and
backstory.
mined precious gems.
And the ale is legendary.
If anything, it feels like this whole level might be an extra way of getting XP easily, or it might just be a way of moving the story forward a little bit. Like, it is kind of crazy that you're not fighting anything or really doing anything that difficult at the moment. So this may be a very short level as a way of telling a narrative. Okay. So we have to hold this all the way open by the likes of it. And then maybe doing that. Or maybe just buying us some time. This wall here really doesn't seem like anything. Okay, so that's not the solution. This is just straight up a wall. I don't really like the idea of going back and forth in those ways. See if maybe we can balance things out. Almost certainly I need to move the time slowdown mechanism over here. That would make some sense. Look at how much the chain is glitching now, though, because of the gravity bubble. But that was the solution.
I smell something familiar.
So I don't know if we're gonna actually just like run into a bunch of pigs. And, I was kind of thinking we might not fight anything, but I guess the game did literally say there was a number of monster XP in this game. If this tried to introduce a new item like the Trine, though, that would be weird. Although it would kind of make a good argument for why it would have gone 3D. If at the end of the secret level they show you a depiction of the 3D plans that they had for Trine 3, I guess that would have been a bit of a teaser. Get that. that. Hit that. Which is going to send me back that way. Get back to that. Get that. That's just going to blow up in my face. Like those two. What I'm really not expecting though is to run into trolls or dwarves. So far this feels just a lot like the last level that we played. Like, no big differences really feeling here. We are 2 levels short still as far as leveling up. Feels to me like the move probably is to do something like that. But your ice arrows, like, aren't going to freeze the lava and give you something that you could jump on. So really, it's more just a case of swinging, I'm sure. The move is just to avoid hitting things and swing instead. And that's just a wall, so we kind of know there's nothing more there. These platforms spin and move the wheels of this entire drill.
All the better for boring into the depths of the earth.
So, notice how that just reset itself and didn't really force me as the player to figure out some crazy way in which I could potentially reach those spots. Although, I do question if maybe, you know, I might be able to reach this area. That may still not be good enough. Oh, this is gonna be tough. Feels like you would have to get the exact ledge. You'd have to get a fairly good swing. And there's a lot of desire, certainly here, to swing around. Is there any other hope? I feel like the real trick here would probably be to get way over here and see if you could grapple on the wood in the other section. But the real solution obviously is just to stand here, get it going, stand here, stand here. Lost momentum there. Okay. And then from that spot, we can do the anti-gravity, and we can jump up here, and we can get to that spot. Is there anything secret over here, or am I just about to get crushed to death? So I'm pretty much just assuming
We
that
have a lot more food. Pigskins!
So this is an interesting visual presentation of a group of attackers, because they're coming from the front and the background in fairly interesting ways. Some really fairly dangerous places. I guess you see a statue in the background there of what a dwarf would look like. And at some point I guess I could have dumped some lava on people. There's an interesting idea of a campfire potentially being something of importance. Well, I suppose we're giving this the college try as far as actually playing this level, and this will be the last episode of the series pretty obviously, so we've been thorough where we once could have seen, I really could have seen myself just not even bothering with this extra level. Well, that was a mistake. Where's the orb? It's way, way back here, isn't it? Getting on that platform up top probably doesn't matter. So my thought here would be that you might do something like that, but that's a little too fast. Yep. It seems like that may be somewhat doable. Step on that, get up here, and see if that gets us anywhere. Obviously the solution really would have just been to do the telepathic moving of the cart to reach the spot. Alright. Alright. I don't think I can. Alright. Mad dash and jump that way. That's my dash ability. Mad dash and jump that way. That was dumb. Let's go ahead and see if we can take this guy out with our hammer. Okay. I want to shoot an arrow. I can't shoot an arrow until I let go. So we basically have to... How do we do this? I think you have to do something like this. And I think you probably have to do something like this. To get to that point. This is literally the only point in the game where it actually felt necessary to have the dash ability on your character. I assume there's no other collectibles there as far as experience. And I assume we are just increasingly going to see. So that platform doesn't do anything, and that platform doesn't do anything. So I guess the idea might be to wait until the orbs happen and then shoot it. There we go. Getting that one's easy, getting that one's easy. Getting up to that point is going to be a little hard. Obviously this is a backwards and forwards puzzle. But then there's also some XP over here not to miss. Easier just to reset everything. Just gotta get the angle quite right to get to that. And jumping back and forth. And hover. And we got it. That being said, we still are 50 XP points away from unlocking everything, and we still are basically 52 achievements, it looks like, away from unlocking everything as far as achievements. So clearly there's a lot more you could do in this game if you so enjoyed the game that much. I would say it is a big if to say you enjoyed the game that much, though.
I think we're up against a fiendishly difficult dwarven smithing puzzle.
So here's a broken key. Could we simply put a box there? another box there. Or do we need to slow down time? Why did it go there? That didn't make a lot of sense. Okay, that doesn't slow that down. Seems like the trick may straight up just be to do this. You can swing on one. Okay. So that would tell me something. If I tried to pull one down and then pull down the other. Well, to me it does seem like if I made a box, and this is a trick I really...
If he's a smith, maybe he needs some fire to work.
Okay. If we make a box here, that will do that. But honestly, it seems to me like you would have to have two of them down and be ready. So unless I can just buy myself enough time, or unless I can possibly stack a couple small ones together. Wait a minute. Oh, this is super easy actually, isn't it? Grab this, magnetize it, grab that. Grab this, magnetize it, grab that. It's not even the trusty time problem, is it? Grab this, magnetize that, and then just go ahead and shoot that time bumble out of the way. Okay. Grab this. This can't be magnetized.
So, if he's a smith, maybe he needs some fire to work.
And then we'll put that over there and see if that works. Clink, clink, clink. And we have a working key. Although all of the screen in this puzzle is like ridiculously too wide. And that's a really terrible system to put the key in. And that it didn't just jump to like a cutscene.
The Dwarven treasure vault! This must be the mother lode.
I assume that's the end of this level.
Secrets. Oh,
Gosh! Oh, it's full of books!
books of magic and engineering. Oh, what? None for cooking?
Uh-huh.
So, if this
Would
was
you believe
the
it?
beginning
Science was the
of
dwarves' great treasure.
Looking
potentially
for a fireball spell.
an
I'm
evolution
just
of
looking at the pictures.
technology
Maybe I'll find
in
the
the Trine
Trine.
universe,
I think this lot belongs in a museum. The Academy might even pay a nice reward for finding these.
Amadeus, you are a clever wizard after all.
You ever doubted that?
so we're just ending on that cutscene. Yeah, even if this is kind of a case where technology gets a little bit more evolved in Trine 3, or in Trine 4, or in Trine 5, it's not going to push the whole game, the whole world forward so much. You're not going to see the characters with computers and cell phones or anything like that. They may just have slightly better magic spells and slightly better machines of war. So yeah, the extra level's fine. I'd say perhaps a little anticlimactic. It gave us yet another opportunity to collect more XP, but we can still see that, yeah, it is almost exactly 100 extra XP more than what it takes to unlock all of the abilities at the same time. There's only one monster XP I've missed in the entire game, but there are several secrets I've missed in the main story, and it would just be way too much of a hassle in a game that was pretty much a hassle even the first time I played it for me to actually try and collect all of this. And I definitely do suspect that the other achievements here potentially are connected to multiplayer or are connected to doing really crazy things. Finding all the chests in the Goblin Menace, that the achievement for finding all the chests in Goblin Menace as a level has only been done by 2% of the players, which is to really highlight that a significant number of players did not play through to the end of the main story, let alone through to the end of the DLC story, which the DLC does feel very awkwardly off. It is worth mentioning that there is a level editor, so theoretically you can make your own levels if you really were interested in doing that. That seemingly did not stop them from making far too many trines too fast. 10 years. If this is this was a 2013 game, so I'm recording this and playing this in 2023. I would expect that there would have been a Trine 3 and a Trine 4. We are talking about a Trine 5. 4 years between Trine 3 and Trine 2. 4 years between Trine 3 and Trine 4. And they're just coming out too fast. And Trine 3 is obviously the 3D game. I can only really speculate that the fans of Trine are probably losing interest by the time Trine 5 comes out, but maybe it'll be a revitalization. Here you can even see in this they are promising Trine 3 in 2015, so 2 years instead of what should have easily been 4 years. For these kinds of games, you probably should adopt a policy of not making more Trines until you can think of new concepts or new levels. Something to justify more Trine. In a weird way, if you were to try to soft reboot this game, you could probably do the exact same narratives and just have different puzzles. Easier puzzles, more polished puzzles, more tested puzzles. But why then would you bother to even soft reboot it? It's not like there really has been any narrative change there. Yeah, I can only somewhat speculate if maybe this game is a lot more fun if you have the right set of multiplayer friends to play with. I imagine it isn't really that much more fun, though, particularly when you think about what has evolved since this game. Fortnite, the Fortnite building aspect back before people stopped playing the building part of Fortnite would have been somewhat similar in concepts as far as just making platforms and building ramps. Except for Fortnite obviously is people shooting each other too, and player versus player. As far as other platforming games, you have much better platforming games in the form of Portal and Portal 2, which maybe Portal 2 wasn't out by 2013. Portal 1 almost certainly would have been out. Then as far as puzzle games, there's better puzzle games such as the Talos Principle and The Witness. Puzzle platforming games, you go back to Portal, and that's a really good example, with which there really isn't a second example I could even really mention or think of. Well, this has been a really long recording. That's going to be it for this series. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos because that helps me with YouTube. If you want to support me even further, there's some links down below in the description box. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.